this week we're going to marry two products that I don't know that you'd think of using together.
Really? What are we going to do?
Well, you'll see.
Okay, let's take a look. Let's play.
So what are the two things we're putting together?
Please explain to me, Paulette.
A match made in heaven. Actually, I have to give credit. This was Stan's idea, so we want to do
Stan?
it. He did. I know. We're
My.
so proud. Okay.
Good job, Stanny.
These are the Marvy.
They're corrugators.
Thank you. I don't know, roller thingers, corrugators. And they come in different patterns, which we'll see. And here's the 10-second studio metal.
So we are putting together, well, or Stan has put together the corrugators and the metal.
Yes.
That is very unusual. What's the result?
Okay, let's see. And here's the result that Susan did with that
Beautiful.
idea. And this is a large tag book. And let's get in close so you really can appreciate what's happened with that metal.
This is so pretty because I would not have thought, I mean, you know to run paper through a corrugator.
Sure.
But lightweight metal, I would assume that it would jam, it would be too thick, it would be a disaster.
Well, let's just demonstrate.
Okay, well, let's take a look. Actually, I've got some of this plum metal right here, and you're going to trim down a little piece for me?
I'm going to trim it. They are 9 by 12 sheets, so that 9 inches is not going to go through the corrugator.
Right,
so
widthwise.
Widthwise, yeah. So I'm just going to trim this down using my trimmer.
Yeah, and that works too, which is amazing.
And nice.
And probably sharpens your paper trimmer too.
Yeah.
And actually, if you can help me kind of feed
Sure.
that
How about
in
if I
there.
do that?
And then just as you would expect, I'm going to twist this knob. And it really does help to have that held straight. You can see it's curling as it's coming out. Doesn't take a whole lot of power, and there you go.
Look at that.
Now it will be a little bit curly, but you can press it down a little bit. But I also want to show you. Can I
Go
show
ahead.
some?
Yeah, go ahead. She was playing before we started.
I was playing earlier, and I just had so much fun with this. I've got a sanding block here, and I'll just take this and rub. And you can see already in that area there that I'm removing some of the metal.
Actually, that's
color.
pretty dramatic.
The metal from 10-second Studios, which I love, by the way, is a great weight. The colors are so rich and pretty. And underneath the paint on here, you've got a metal base, obviously, so that you can have that show through. So after I've got it sanded...
Wait a minute, let me go ahead and do the other thing you did before you get to the inking.
What was the other thing I did? Oh, that, okay. Right, this was really fun, too. Actually, if you can bring in that album again, just to show... This strip that goes across the center, this blue strip, this is a perfect technique for something with this width. So I'll show you with this larger piece. Once you've run the metal through the corrugator, it's shortened up. It's kind of like having curly hair. So it shrinks a little bit. So cute. If you pull gently.
So you can stretch it.
But firmly.
Okay.
And evenly. Is the other thing. You can stretch it.
And I'm not sure you're really seeing that on camera, but I can see it in person. It is going longer.
Right, exactly. You'll get more distance between each one of those waves. And again, with a strip, it's going to be a lot more effective.
Right.
It just gives a whole other look to it.
That's fun.
So you can do that. And then the other thing you can do is bring out your handy Stays-On ink pad. And this really works nicely over some of the sanded areas.
And I'm wondering if on some of them, I'm not sure that you have to sand, but we've got some other samples.
So you'll just rub this on here. Again, you want to use a Stays-On because that works for non-porous surfaces.
Right.
Scrub away.
Now your Stays-On isn't very juicy.
It's not very juicy, and that's actually nice because you can't really tell it so well on camera. I think you can see it better in person. But you've just got a very nice sort of shabby chic muted effect.
Well, let's see it on another color because that might be part of the thing. Is here we have it on a Sarah Surface pizza box, and look how striking that is. This is with the diamond corrugator.
Yeah, and the Appletini green.
Appletini.
We had to figure out which
Let's get in closer on this so we can see really get a good close-up of that diamond. Look how striking that is.
Isn't that pretty? So this has been inked with Stays-On.
Yes.
That's the black area that you see on here. Otherwise, you would have a tone-on-tone effect.
Very fun, and we can see this is, and I like the idea of the small pieces. That works really well.
Yeah.
You know, I forgot to say something about the tag book, so let me just bring that back in. This, because the edges would be sharp if you had the metal there, they were wrapped around and then backed with paper. So I just wanted to make note of that.
Good idea.
And then you could see on the pizza box that the metal was inset from the edge of the box.
Right, it's just cut a little bit smaller and then matted, so that gives a really striking effect. How about cards?
And speaking of striking effect, this is the straight corrugator, and I just love how effective it is in small doses.
Right, and you know what's interesting about this as well is that she's combined the corrugated area, which is this large backing piece on her card focal. She's also done it on these little circular, she's punched these pieces. It's like a 3/4 circle punch. Or corrugated and then punched, perhaps?
Exactly, yeah, you'd have to.
She's combined the wavy areas with metal that's been flat. The strip along here is just a flat piece of metal, although it does have a shine when you look at it on your computer monitor. And then here in the center of her flower, again, another punched piece. This has been sanded around the outside edge.
Isn't that striking? I love the luster of that. That's so neat.
I love the pink and chocolate.
And look what she's done inside.
Pretty.
Another piece of the straight corrugated, and like you said on the front, a little strip of the pink.
Wow.
And wow. So thank you, Stanley. We appreciate your creativity, and this is a great, great look.
Absolutely.